everybody tonight? Hey, let me get my plugs in. Hey, radio. Hey, hey, oh, and oh, ooh, how's everyone? Hey. Ooh. Hey, how's everyone tonight? All good? Ooh, I've got some kind of music on here. There it's gone. And yeah, my name's Chris Quinlan. How are you? Melbourne Musos TV show, Facebook Live at the Alex Theatre. I've turned around a little bit here. We're getting back on the horse. And what's going on here? I threw all of my notes out this morning. And it's a very sort of, you know, what a day. Election day, 50-50, right down the middle. We're all holding on like that. But something sad happened this morning, and I threw all my notes out. Ken Hensley, the famous keyboard player for Uriah Heep, passed away this morning, or the other day, I should say. And what's happening is that today I'd like to talk about him, his legacy a little bit. I don't have any notes at all, I just know it. And earlier in the year I was a little bit remiss when dear Lee Kerslake passed away, okay, who was the drummer for Uriah Heep in their glory days and all that. And I learned a lot from Lee Kerslake. Lee Kerslake, after he left Uriah Heep, he went on to do a couple of albums with our dear Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman and all that sort of stuff. But Ken Hensley this morning, I woke up bummed out, man. And in such a crazy way, a couple of weeks ago, I actually went right down the track of putting up a few old Uriah Heep tracks and stuff, mainly because of the grand final. You know, the band that played, okay. The first thing I always thought when I first heard them, who's been dipping into Dad's old vinyl? Hey! And, you know, bum, 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 bum. Ah! Now that's off a very heavy, very humble Gypsy, the first track. And yes, a much borrowed riff kind of thing. Anyway, so I'm going to take you through. Pretty hard for me to play or do a tribute to an incredible rock keyboard player in Ken Hensley on the drum set. But what I want to try to do is sort of do a little tip of the hat to a great 70s band that went down the track of rock and roll and sadly, you know, boom, like that. They kept on going and all that, but essentially what goes on is that Ken Hensley had, it was never a feud, I don't think, but if you're thinking John Lord of Deep Purple, in the same sentence put in Ken Hensley, okay, in the same way that Keith Emerson was with Rick Wakeman, that kind of thing. And if you're thinking of pairs, I always think like pairs like Keith Moon, Mitch Mitchell, you know, that kind of stuff. Ringo, Charlie Watts, all this sort of business, you see. So that's what goes on. One of the things about Uriah Heep, they had everything, right? They had David Byron on lead vocals, who had this soaring, majestic, operatic voice, all that. You had Ken Hensley writing the stuff, and he made every album personal because when you look at the liner notes, he'd write a little note, okay? He'd write a note about each song and what it meant to him and the band and everything else, okay? And it just brought you in, okay? From the very first album, which was 1970s, very heavy, very humble, okay? And there you go. Gypsy, track 1, kaboom, okay? 1970, great year, okay. Same year as Deep Purple in rock. You know, like I said, they were sort of working parallel there for a while. And enough of me talking, I suppose. I'll start talking about some of the stuff that he's famous for and Lee Kerslake was famous for. And the thing that really got me with Uriah Heep was their ability to play a shuffle, okay? And for that matter, the rolling shuffle, okay? So let me talk about that first up. We've got triplets, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Put a rim shot on 2 and 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. What I've got there is a 4 on the floor and a hi-hat on 2 and 4, splashing it a bit. So 1 and 2 and a syncopation. He's 11, be forgiven. Easy living. Look at yourself. There you go. And there you have it. So what we've got there is triplets. A triplet is a group of 3 notes played in the same time of 2 notes of the same kind. Thank you, umpire. And what you have is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Everybody knows that, or they should. And there you go. Don't get it mixed up with 12/8. It's a different thing. I take ages in lessons to explain the difference between triplets in 4/4 and 12/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That kind of thing there. But we'll leave that for another day. I think I actually did that another day not so long ago, actually. There you go, umpire. There you go. So what happens is we've got our triplets, right? Now, put your right hand on the hi-hat and... Lee Kerslake was great at that. You know, that real rollicking rhythm. Now, that means a lot to me, the rolling shuffle, in the sense that when you take your Celtic music and all that, and I don't want to labour the point, but Dad ran the Dan O'Connell, where all the Irish music started pretty much for that great pub. He started it all with David Brannigan and Jamie Johnson and these beautiful people, and his wife Liz Johnson, who used to babysit me. What a glory days with my brother Len. No, don't do it, Chris. Anyway. And then you'd actually sort of morph that into 6/8, into an Irish jig kind of thing. So you get that kind of... There it is, you see, and that's what goes on. Now, let me take you through it again. What happens is you've got triplets. What I was doing then was morphing it into 6/8 time, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And I started to move the bass drum around a little bit there. And what goes on is you got that. Now, that could be thought of as like the heavy metal Bowron, you know, that kind of thing, like that kind of thing. And you get that kind of business going on, you see. So what happens with this is that you get these triplets, and then what can start to happen is that you start to apply your rudiments to a certain degree, double stroke rolls and double taps. So you might have triplets. For that, I will cut to that camera there. Hello, camera there. How are you? so you get that kind of thing. And so what goes on with this is that with this rolling shuffle, I'm not going to do all the shuffles, I'll just leave that for another show. I'm actually doing the rolling shuffle in tribute to when I first heard it and was blown away with it, with Uriah Heep live in 1973. And, and they recorded it on my birthday, on Australia Day, although they were in Birmingham, 26th of January 1973. I had a quick look at it. I've had the album for a long time. And it's one of my regrets to have sold a whole bunch of vinyl when I was a starving muso back in 1991. I wish I could have those albums back, I tell you what, boof, and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah. So what you had was you had... yeah, who ripped that off? Anyway, that's very heavy, very humble. That's their first track, Gypsy, okay? And that's that one there. And then the second album was Salisbury. It's got a great cover. It's got dudes in tanks. And it's a tank, tank corps. And it's just a great cover, really colourful. I put it up today on my feed and all that, as I did with... another album. I'm getting ahead of myself here. But what it is the Salisbury album. I'm going to say a cheerio to Matthew Underwood, who, when I put up the things from the Uriah Heep YouTube paste, paste onto Facebook, all that sort of stuff. Matthew, I've taught you some. And what it is he said, I always loved the Salisbury album. And I went and revisited to it, and I went, oh my God, the title track, 16 minutes of prog rock opus. Go listen to Salisbury, the title track. Go listen to the whole album. Go listen to the whole thing from Very Heavy, Very Humble, Salisbury, and then Look at Yourself. Oh, the album, Look at Yourself, starts off. Look at yourself. I'm making a dick of myself here, but that's a great album. That shone, that album. That takes you on a journey, that album. There's July Morning. Not even looking at my notes, I already know. And all that sort of stuff. You've got, what is it? Na 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 na, na 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 na. Goes forever. There it is there. Oh, what's that? Yeah, July Morning. It's the big thing at the end, the big outro, gets the whole crowd singing. Oh, yes, and that's Ken Hensley right there, with Lee Kerslake on drums. Now, what we've got, let me take you down a little bit. I may as well call this the Uriah Heep episode of Face Chook and all that, because we all found out this morning, and I just went, oh, shit. We're all waiting for the election. I go, I got my coffee. I was waiting for Pedge and Ali to come around so we can do the car business and all that sort of stuff. Great news today, beautiful, and all that. And we took the pooch out and got him for a drive, and he farted in the car a few times. Ooh. I'm going to change his diet. He might as well. Anyway, where am I going with this? So what goes on? I don't know. Anyway, so what goes on here is, let me give you a bit of a rundown, okay? Because what it is I had my coffee. I'm going to go, okay, who's won? 50-50. All that sort of stuff. We're all hanging like that. How did all those Hitler memes go for you, okay? You made them dig in. Anyway, I wrote about that. Sorry, I probably lost half my audience. I'm down to one now. But what it is that I was waiting. I was going, okay, here we go. Let's find out what's going to happen. And the first thing I got was Ken Hensley, keyboard player for Uriah Heep, passed away. Your youth is going snip, snip, snip. Dear old Dad. I used to go and see dear old Dad. And I said, what's the matter, Dad? He said, I don't want to read the paper anymore, son. I said, how come? Oh, another one of my mates have dropped off the perch. You know, that kind of thing. You get to an age where they're all the people that we grew up with. And the newer people start to, oh, that's pretty good. We'll rip that right off. I'm pretty acid on that because the thing is, it's just like, come on, write your own stuff. Take it like a lesson in what to do, and then create your own stuff. That's what this is for, you know, that kind of thing. You know, just take it and then it becomes your style, right? And all that. You just don't just go, I'll use that, thank you very much, umpire. That kind of thing. I'm on my horse a little bit, but it is a funny old day. But what goes on with this is that you've got this shuffle, right? So on. Now what goes on with that is, as I said, that was almost like a trademark groove for Uriah Heep. And what it was is, as I said, Lee Kerslake, R.I.P., God bless him, and all that. Ken Hensley, today, the news came through today. David Byron, the dynamic lead singer, was just rock and roll, as Mick Box, the one surviving member of that the Glory Days band, the classic lineup, if you will, always said Mick was 24/7 rock and roll, and he loved his booze, and it got him in 1985. So you know, he went out like that, and all that sort of stuff. And there's a New Zealand bass player by the name of Gary Thane, and that's the settled lineup, right? And funnily enough, on the first album, if I'm going to ramble a little bit, the drummer for the first album was Ollie Olsen, who ended up being with Elton John for decades, I think. All that sort of stuff, if memory serves, from the liner notes, which I can see if I close my eyes like that. And what it was once it settled down, Gary Thane was on bass. Oh, we got the boys in blue going up and down Fitzroy Street there. Got the old sirens going. Ooh, okay. Anyway, bit of drama. And what it is Gary Thane. Sadly, he got involved with the old DRUGSs. And, but what didn't help matters was he was seriously injured on stage with an electric shock. Bang, and he, like a serious one. And combine everything up, he passed away a few months later in his bathtub. How's that for rock and roll? Okay, wasn't that Mr. Morrison as well? So what it is they had the world at their feet. They were incredible. Their harmonies were brilliant. They went up into the rafters at their peak. And all that. Go and listen to them. Go and listen. Just put on Look at Yourself for a start. That's just an incredible album that just takes you somewhere, that whole thing. And they had the harmonies. Mick Box on guitar, handy guitarist, very underrated and all that. Great slide player too, funnily enough. And all that. And so that's your classic five-piece for Uriah Heep. Now, people remember them best, I suppose, for the albums after Look at Yourself. I mean, that's just an incredible thing, and that's where you get the... Yeah, you know, and it just gets quicker. You remember Sabbath's War Pigs, you know, the original thing, it gets faster, like the tape speeds up, like that, that at the end. They actually did that, but in the studio for Look at Yourself. It was like... They even went faster than that, but then, boom, there it was. Great crowd pleaser. Anyway, there you are. Now, what goes on now is that after that they had Demons and Wizards, and I really liked that album, and that was terrific. And then you had Magician's Birthday, and on side 2 of the vinyl, there was this wonderful duet between Lee Kerslake and Mick Box. It was just guitar and drums, and it was like... Oh, I went for a fantastic prog rock at its best. I love all that indulgence. There you go. So that's what goes on there. So there's that kind of thing. And after Magician's Birthday, it was, which one? Oh, I've mixed them. No, that's right, I was right. Sweet Freedom. No jokes on that one this week. Sweet Freedom, and then Wonderworld. And that's when things started to go a little bit awry, sort of thing, Everyone had their personal limo and all that sort of stuff that goes with it, and all that. And that's when I talked about Gary Thane and all that sort of stuff. We're talking into the 75 time, all that sort of stuff. And things started to get a bit rocky. And, And then, actually, funnily enough, after Gary Thane so sadly passed away, John Wetton from King Crimson fame had not long left that incarnation of King Crimson, starless and Bible black, red, and all that biz. But what happens is John Wetton joined Uriah Heep. That's how high up they were at the time. They were, the gods of rock at the time. Now, I'm going to have a look at the time. Ooh, I'm nearly there already. So what happens is that I better get a little wriggle on. And what it is to get back into drums. I've talked about the rolling shuffle. I've done the comparison to Celtic music and all this sort of business. Even just last week I was doing odd time signatures and things like that, and I brought up the slip jig in 9/8, right? So it's the same kind of deal there. And what can start to happen is that... you get that kind of... Yeah, there you go. And but one of the other things I want to just quickly bring up is that on the live version of Gypsy, dun, 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 down, what happens is that they send Lee Kerslake out on a little bit of a drumming excursion, and this brings down the this little thing here. I don't have boot cam today. I just want an extra camera on the horse behind me. Isn't that a work of art? What a room this is. Uriah Heep. Live, January 26, 1973, in Birmingham. Yeah. Lick of the century. If you couldn't do that, you were nothing. And Lee Kerslake could do that in spades. He started that off with, funnily enough, I was doing double bass drum there, but he doesn't have... the double bass drum there. I've got my reverb cutting out. Oh. Anyway, but what happens is he's got that going. kind of business there, you see. And he's master at that. Oh, it's cutting in and out. I'll just take it out, hey? Oh, I don't want to screw around. I can fix it in the mix, eh? Hey! Oh, get out of there. Hey! All right. So that's what goes on there. Oh, boy. How are we going for time? Okay, we're doing fine. So what happens now is that Lee Kerslake really was with Ken Hensley, who was the main songwriter of the band, just did incredible stuff. And I am zeroing in on the classic lineup. Okay, so what you've got is very heavy, very humble. Bloody hell, what's going on here, mate? I'll turn that out. Take it out, mate. Hey! And what you have is very heavy, very humble. Then you've got Look at Yourself. No, sorry, pardon me. Salisbury album, the second one. Then you have Look at Yourself. And then you've got Demons and Wizards, Magician's Birthday. I think you got Sweet Freedom then. And then you got Wonder World, not to be confused with Wonderful. And then after that, there you go. So did I miss one? Return to Fantasy. Sorry about that. That's one I missed. So there you go. That's Uriah Heep. I threw my notes out this morning. I thought I was going to do something else, and then, like I said, like I got on my high horse for, I put it on. I've gone. Ken Hensley, he's gone. Now, I said in my post today, it's 2020 is a little bit like herpes. It's the gift that keeps on giving. That kind of thing. You just got to fight through. And what you do, stay true. Remember them. So tonight's about the rolling shuffle. And Lee Kerslake seemed to be a master of that. And with Ken Hensley, what you've got there is an incredible powerhouse of keyboards and drums. Mick Box completes it with guitar, and in a certain kind of way, they were comparable to Deep Purple, where the triumvirate, as you would say, was Ian Pace, John Lord, and Richie Blackmore, all that sort of stuff. But the thing with David Byron, before he went, I want my own limo, thank you very much, and all that sort of stuff, and on his path to destruction, just an incredible vocalist. And what that band could do, dare I say it, don't throw things at me, but Ken Hensley and Mick Box were also great vocalists, and some of the harmonies they could pull off were just, it was like the angels are singing, if you know what I mean. Just the angels, that kind of stuff there. So that's what this show's all about. It seemed to go very quick. And they would really go down the track of really taking a song to its nth degree. Poor Cymbal's getting a bit of a stick. Oh, I don't want to break my second one in 45 years. I was doing a gig with Ronnie Smith. Ron, how are you, mate? I hope you're watching. Maybe we could do King Crimson's Red together. There's the alarm, dude. Okay. But that was the last time I broke a cymbal. It was like, it came up as I was going down. It was a little bit like Rocky IV, Apollo Creed going down. Oh, I've gone, oh my God, I've just cracked a cymbal. I love you. Okay, so there you go. All right, so I'm out of here. That's what it is. And what I want to do is really just treat this like a tribute to that dear band. Mick Box being the only surviving member of that classic lineup and all that sort of stuff. Bit melodramatic, isn't it? But that's Uriah Heep to a T. They could do all that. That kind of business is incredible. I'm out of here. Take care, everyone. I'm going to have the 4-camera shoot up tomorrow. I'm not sure when tomorrow. A few things are happening. But at some point, we'll get the 4-camera shoot up, and it'll be on our beloved Channel 31 in the near future, in a week or two, perhaps. We were after we managed to save it, all of you people and everything. I was running it to the day, but now we need to give it give the people a chance to have a look through it and all that, and say, yeah, that was good. Oh, Chris was shit there. There you go. He's on his high horse again. Let's just say that the sound was a bit dodgy. Anyway, I'm just taking pot shots at myself now. But what it is let's raise a glass tonight for Ken Hensley, Lee Kerslake, Gary Thane, David Byron, and everyone else. And let's raise a glass to Mick Box. He's last one left standing, eh? Hey, take care. See you all next week, hey? Let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of a world we're going to live in next week. Take care. See ya.